Where does Mo Salah stand where does he rate in the world rankings right now?
Top, but who is, come on, we all see it, who's better in the moment than him. That's clear. It's always this kind of things. I know it's a big discussion about these kind of things, but we don't have to talk about what Ronaldo and Messi did for world football and how long they were really dominant. But in the moment, I think it's clear there's nobody better than him. But how it is.
We just heard Jurgen Klopp say it, and I couldn't agree more. Now, of course, Klopp is his manager. He's always going to big up his players, but I cannot detract away from the fact that Mo Salah has been absolutely world-class this season. He's got 10 goals and 4 assists in 10 games, but away from the stats, that's where Salah looks a completely different specimen. He just looks like he's tidied up every aspect of his game, and he looks like he's gonna have an even better season than his first season at Liverpool, and that was incredible. Actually, speaking of which, I just want to touch upon Salah's development and the way he's been growing his game after, every single season. His first season at Liverpool was obviously what people remember as Salah at his best, and at least at his goal scoring best. And even though he hasn't had goal returns like that in the following seasons after that debut season, but he's been adding little increments to his game every single season and improving on the weaknesses that he had not only at Chelsea, but the weaknesses that were in his game, the holes that were in his game in his first season at Liverpool that were a bit overshadowed by the fact that he scored so many goals. For one, he's improved incredibly on his link-up play. I remember when he first came, there was this whole notion that he was a selfish striker, and even though he was able to score, he was lacking in his ability to connect with the other forwards and play that sort of capacity of the creator. And I think this season and last, we've really seen how creative Salah is, and not just how creative he is, how willing he is to get out of scoring positions and create from deep, create from wide. He's not just a player in the mold of someone like, say, Ronaldo, who would create whilst in a goal scoring position. He's very capable of creating far away from the goal and, with very creative, inventive technique. He's also just improved, and I really, really love this because this was my biggest critique of Salah in his first season. He's improved exponentially on his hold-up play. I remember once upon a time, if you played the ball into Salah on the channels, he just didn't want it there. He wanted it maybe at the edge of the box where he could cut inside and shoot, but you could not rely on Salah to hold up the ball and, play it inside or play it in behind to his right back and, create that sort of overlap situation like Mane is very, very good at doing. He really struggled with that. And at this moment in time, I would say in this Liverpool team, Salah is by far and away the best player at holding up the ball and, really attracting that attention to him and freeing up players around him. And I think that has probably been the biggest improvement to his game, and the reason why Salah just looks so mature and so rounded out this season and has looked for the past 2 seasons. He's really touched upon and improved upon his weaknesses and, maintained the things that made Liverpool fans love him in the first place. Okay, so with all these characteristics in mind, all of these key improvements to his game, is it fair to say that Salah is right now the best player in the world? I struggle to see how he isn't, if I'm being honest. In the past 3 seasons, I don't think any player has improved as much except probably Robert Lewandowski. But as far as the things that I've pointed out, that obviously Lewandowski also has, and he's probably a better finisher, Salah has other aspects to him that I think give him the slight edge. He's got pace, which is very valuable in games like against Man City, where you'll be sitting deep and you're going to need to counterattack. and Salah's able to, play on the wings, and he's got this air of confidence about him. I don't know how to describe it. And he's trying new things. He's being a lot more audacious, and he's really stepped up even as far as being a leader in the team. So I find it hard to put anyone past him. But for me, the question isn't really whether he's the best player in the world. The question is, can he keep up this level of form for the whole season? I think he's been the best player in the world the first 2 months of the season, but that's only about a quarter of the race. I think last season he carried Liverpool to Champions League football, and I think his stats were hampered by the fact that Firmino and Mane had bad seasons, and the team as a whole didn't have good individual seasons. A lot of players didn't have good individual seasons, but now that the team is ticking again and Salah has looked, much better than ever before, the only question is, can he keep it up throughout the season, and can he maintain this level of form for the next couple of years and, take himself that level higher to potentially even winning the Ballon d'Or and, establishing himself as not just one of the all-time African greats, which he firmly is up there, and putting himself in that category as one of the all-time Premier League greats and potentially one of the all-time football greats, because his turnaround in output, in quality of play, in all these aspects has been just incredible these last couple of seasons. And if he can keep it up into his, early 30s, into his mid 30s, I struggle to see how you could keep him out of that bracket of all-time players. But that's just what I think based on what I've seen this season. Do you think that Salah is the best player in the world? And if not, who do you actually think has been better?